Some rivalries are determined by conference, others by section, but this one, it's all about pride. We come to you from St. Paul Central High School for a popular edition of high school boys basketball. I say popular because we have an annual rivalry between two teams who know each other extremely well. The St. Paul Central Minutemen at 14-5 host the two-time defending Class 2A state champion Minnehaha Academy Redhawks at 16-2. Greetings, everyone. I'm Mike Beaton, all by myself, talking to myself, but as you can see behind me, we've got a few friends out here watching this game. This is a big one. Again, this rivalry all about pride. St. Paul Central in 4A, Minnehaha Academy in 2A. Normally, 4A schools would be apprehensive about scheduling a 2A program because of the impact in QRF, section seating, but I spoke with Scott Howell, the St. Paul Central head coach, and he told me these kids know each other. They grew up playing the sport, they go to each other's games, and that's why this is all about the friendly rivalry that has emanated between these two. It's a rivalry that has been controlled by Minnehaha Academy since the series began in 2009. But a lot of the matchups are down to the wire. We've had plenty of overtime battles, photo finishes. I wouldn't expect this game to be any different, and here's why. St. Paul Central on an amazing run. They lead the St. Paul City Conference, have yet to lose in conference play. They played a lot of top 4A teams close. They are a sleeper in their section, but they have some athletes who can make them an upset bid. Ronnell Porter having a strong season. Devontae Davis leads the team in scoring at over 20 a game. And Dion Ford, he recently committed to a junior college. Those three are going to be the players to watch for the Minutemen. Minnehaha looks a little different than a year ago. Giovanni Bickham, he's now at Denver. Terry Lockett, he moved on to a prep school, but they still have Jalen Suggs, one of the wondrous athletes in the Suggs line. Whether it's football or basketball, he is going to be a difference maker at the college level. But they also have Chet Holmgren, who's come on strong in his sophomore season, and Prince Aligbe got a lot of time last year as an 8th grader, just picked up his first D1 offer not too long ago from Illinois. So a lot of upside and a lot of potential for this Minnehaha Academy team. Their only losses this season, they came against Hopkins. If that doesn't tell you how tough the Redhawks are, I don't know what will. But I don't need to tell you. You can see it for yourself. And we'll bring you that matchup in a moment. If you'd like to sponsor a TSP television broadcast, Patreon is the place. Sponsorships start at just $1 a month. Visit patreon.com/TSP television and make a pledge for premier Twin Cities sports coverage. Welcome back to St. Paul Central High School. A lot of history, a lot of stories, a lot of athletes have come through here. It is the oldest high school in the city of St. Paul. And tonight, a premier destination for high school hoops. As we noted in the open, these two schools have played each other in a series that is going to 11 years now. No significance other than pride and the neighborhood connection, as we noted. It's been a long time, though, since St. Paul Central has won it, and there are some bragging rights as the starters are introduced. This game was originally scheduled for January 31st, but the polar vortex caused a significant amount of rescheduling. This was one of those games, and Scott Howell told me he was happy they were able to find a makeup date. Normally Wednesday night is an off night for a lot of schools with faith and family, things of that nature. But you got to play them when they can. St. Paul Central, in particular, playing a series of 3 games in 3 days. At least that's the case tonight. And Minnehaha Academy coming off a back-to-back as well. Let's talk about that briefly. Minnehaha Academy played another top 10 team in 2A. Breck won that one convincingly. St. Paul Central put up 110 over Washington. And Scott Howell told me Central still didn't play enough defense, even though they won 110-66. You hear the crowd, and everyone is huddling together right next to each other. We got a little smack talk going on. The officials trying to get them in the huddle. Here are the starters for the Redhawks. It's Jalen Suggs, Caden Johnson, Prince Aligbe, Chet Holmgren, and Siegel Howard. Central will start Ronell Porter, Devontae Davis, Dion Ford, going to Lake Region Community College, Karen Crow, and Luke McElroy. Near sellout here at St. Paul Central. And part of that, again, the lack of games. There are a couple of games being played tonight, but as far as the St. Paul City Conference goes, the Minutemen are the only team in action, so everyone has gathered to watch this one. And when you've got a two-time defending state champion in Minnehaha, that's worth the price of admission. And St. Paul Central, as we noted, no slouch at 14-5. Even though they're an underdog, they have played several top teams in 4A close, including a barn burner with Park Center. Central will wear the black. Minnehaha wears the white. Redhawks win the tip. Suggs can't get the alley-oop to Aligbe, but he'll drain the runner to get us started. Not a lot of space here. Both teams average about the same as far as offense goes. Minnehaha 75 a game, St. Paul Central 77. Dion Ford scores for the Minutemen. So defense, or whoever can get a key stop, that could decide this one. The fans are bringing the noise, at least on the St. Paul Central side. Fast break drive and free throws coming if they give Devontae Davis the shooting motion, that is. And it will be a side out. I haven't seen a crowd like this at St. Paul Central since the height of the Central-Johnson rivalry. Ben Coleman and I covered one of those games many years ago, and it was standing room only. Suggs to Aligbe. Aligbe can't finish the slam, but Central can't corral the rebound, and the Redhawks catch a break. It's you, me, and a few thousand of our closest friends here. Suggs at the high post, and Ronell Porter stripped him. Ronell was looking forward to going up against Jalen Suggs. Suggs at 6'4", Ronell 5'7" with the shoes on. Ronell, the older brother of Ronnie Porter. Yes, I have a mic. This is on TV. Now, if you need to move, go ahead. Ronell Porter's got some moves. And knocking down the three is Dion Ford. The Central fans love that one. There's going to be no lack of energy in this game. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Last time I covered this series was 3 years ago. Minnehaha won in overtime. And an offensive foul was called. I didn't see who got set up, but he was outside the restricted zone. Jalen Suggs hit with a foul. St. Paul Central, they're not fooling around. And you can't. Not with the team that has the pedigree Minnehaha does. Porter trying to shake Howard. Finds Deion Ford. He's stripped. Porter with the back door and the layup by Luke McElroy. A quick timeout for Minnehaha Academy. And I feel like I'm not sure if we're at St. Paul Central or Cameron Indoor Stadium. The St. Paul Central fans bringing the noise. .24 left in the first half. 7-2 is the score. And look at this crowd. Everyone excited to be here. You've got the cheerleaders. You've got a highly energetic fan base. And I have to imagine St. Paul Central will feed off that. That's going to be key here for the Redhawks, getting on a run. It's early, of course, but if they can get on even a 6-0, 7-0 run, silence the crowd, that's going to be a huge asset. You know, there are some matchups that attract a crowd at the boys' level. This is one of them. Well, St. Paul Central building for a run like this as Howard is called for traveling. St. Paul Central, a lot of seniors, as we noted, building up for a run like this. The tough part is the section they're in. East Ridge, Cretin-Durham Hall, White Bear Lake, Tartan, and even North St. Paul, they all have a chance to get out of that first round. A couple are going to have to face each other. Ford. And a blocking foul is called on Suggs. So Jalen Suggs hit with his second personal foul, and we've seen this in big games on occasion. Jalen Suggs can get himself caught in foul trouble. He's pleading his case, but to no avail. A huge development in the opening minutes. Jalen Suggs with 2. That is your top player. He's averaging 24 points a game. Porter looking for an inbound target. And Lance Johnson still having a word with the official after that call on Suggs. Davis used up the dribble, finds McElroy. Fakes, stays on the pivot, shovel pass. Porter will reset with no shot clock. You're welcome to do so. Porter lost it. Aligbe got the strip. Suggs with the steal. He's got to be careful, finds Aligbe. And Aligbe completes the layup. Well, you know Suggs, he's got a high IQ. Burst on the scene all those years ago. Cornell Porter, the trailer for the Minutemen. Jalen Suggs burst on the scene. I remember covering a few of those Minnehaha games. He's got deep range. Tried to show it there, but he could not get the 3 to fall. And the rebound goes to Crow. Porter. Shovel pass picked off. Aligbe with the slam. Aligbe's been waiting to throw one down. He's got the vertical, and so does Suggs if he gets a chance to showcase it. McElroy hands it back off to Davis. A lot of football and basketball crossovers on the St. Paul Central team. 3 ball. McElroy can't hit from the corner. It's Chet Holmgren, the lanky, 6'9", one-handed throwdown. And he follows up with a block. Now the Redhawks fans are feeling it. St. Paul Central gets the deflection to deny a fast break chance. Caden Johnson will go out. They're going to keep Jalen Suggs in there. Craig McDonald goes in for the Redhawks. Redhawks have played an assortment of high-caliber teams, and with the exception of Hopkins, they have defeated them all. They beat Austin recently, where Jalen Suggs passed Giovanni Bickham as the all-time leading scorer in Redhawks history. Chet Holmgren, this time a two-handed jam, and the Redhawks take the first lead. McElroy with some space. Howard says, I don't think so. Aligbe on the run. Doesn't have the numbers. Redhawks will have to run a set play. Suggs through the hole. No good. Crow backs off. Porter will reset. Davis. Elbow J is off the mark, and the rebound goes to Aligbe. The fact that the Redhawks are still a number one team in Class 2A despite losing one of those centerpieces as Holmgren fires the three speaks a lot to the pedigree, the talent, the depth, the culture that has developed with Lance Johnson over the last several years. 3 state championships as Devontae Davis converts the runner on the other end for the Minutemen. It's been a while since St. Paul Central was last in a state tournament. But who can forget those battles with Johnson? No call. Aligbe will follow up his own miss. Officials let that one go. It's 12-11 in favor of Minnehaha Academy. Porter is fouled. And St. Paul Central going to the bench for the first time. Kai West goes in there. And Terrell Fountain. No, that's not a misprint. His surname is Fountain. And I'm sure he's heard every joke in the book, so I will spare him. Devontae Davis takes the feed from Porter. If you haven't picked up on it by now, these kids can fly. Here's Caden Johnson. 13-12. Holmgren, entry pass. Now he goes underneath. Donovan Smith lost it. Scramble for the ball is won by a Minuteman. Bodies flying everywhere. Porter with the dish to Terrell Fountain for the score. Redhawks looking to push. It Suggs up, and he'll shoot 2. Jalen Suggs, whether it's football or basketball, if there is an honor to be had, chances are he's claimed it. He has USA basketball experience on his resume. He won a state championship in football this year in Class 4A with the SMB Co-op. And he already has 2 state titles, would love to add a third for the Redhawks. Averaging over 24 a game. And there's another Suggs who will be a fixture on the girls' team in the years to come. Suggs knocks down both free throws. 15-14. Minutemen with the lead. And Donovan Smith will shoot 2 more. Smith with the strip and the basketball equivalent of the sack fumble, if you will. So Donovan Smith will try to give the Redhawks the lead once more. A tight fit here as Donovan Smith knocks down the first of 2 free throws. Smith makes both. He averages 7 a game. And the Redhawks 4-4 from the free throw line, and that will be a foul on Smith. In the open, we mentioned the big three, Suggs, Holmgren, and Aligbe. Donovan Smith averaging 7 off the bench. Holmgren a walking double-double. St. Paul Central data is limited. But if you follow this school, they may not always be section champions, but they produce a lot of athletes. The boys soccer team reached the semifinals in the Class 2A boys field this year. Craig McDonald with the steal. He will not get the run out. And the officials are letting them play. A lot of contact between the two teams. A little bit of a mix-up on the inbound. Jalen Suggs has it. Last year was Suggs and Bickham. 3-ball. And a foul away from the ball. And will go against the Minutemen. That's the second on Devontae Davis. So we've got a lot of players here with 2 fouls. Donovan Smith and Jalen Suggs on the Redhawks side, and Devontae Davis just picked up his second for the Minutemen. Side out. And Caden Johnson takes the inbound feed for a deuce. Largest lead for the Redhawks. Kind of crazy to think about, but here we are. Little step back move. Davis can't knock down the three-pointer. Craig McDonald with the rebound. Holmgren to McDonald. Top of the key. Entry pass inside to Suggs. Layup is no good. And the rebound collected by Karen Crow. It's either Karen or Karan. Rennell Porter around Holmgren and in. An acrobatic layup for the 5'7" senior. And just like that, it's a one-point game again, 18-17. That's going to be a foul on Terrell Fountain as he collided with Jalen Suggs on the pass there. 8:51 left in the first half. A near capacity crowd and a few names, past and present, in the prep scene are in attendance. Jalen Suggs missing the 3. Here's Davis. Crow, baseline J is short. Fountain muscles for the O-board. Holmgren gets the first block, and Crow can't put it in. McElroy, no. St. Paul Central relentless on the glass, and I think they'll get free throws out of it. Yes, they will. Craig McDonald hit with a foul. So Luke McElroy, who averages 9 a game, to shoot 2. Misses the front end. Some of the names that are here: Liza Carlin and Alexis Pratt from Stillwater, Azaria Chevre from Simley, alongside her best friend Avea Meester from Tartan. As we said, these kids know each other. Kaylee Adams, who was a standout at Richfield, played at North Dakota State College of Science. McElroy missing both free throws. St. Paul Central, several opportunities to score, and they come up empty. Those are the plays they need. Antoine Kimmins on the short list for Mr. Basketball this year. He's going to Idaho State next year. Like we said, everyone knows everyone And for Kimmins, a little section scouting. Rennell Porter. What a layup! He wanted the foul on a league bay. He didn't get it, but still put it in. Porter adding to his highlight reel in the big way, and a traveling violation called on a league bay. 19-18 with 7:45 left in the first half. We've got ourselves a show. The energy has died down a bit, but the crowd on either side could erupt at any moment with the game as close as this. Ford. No good. Porter rebound, put back. With a little English. Porter up to 8. Scott Howell really liked the production he was getting out of the diminutive senior. Scramble for the ball, won by Caden Johnson. Can't get the bounce, and the ball was last touched by the Minutemen. If our camera angles seem a little out of place, the cheerleaders are on the near side here. So not a lot of space, especially in a gym as packed as this one. A leg bay. Tried the skip to Johnson. St. Paul Central forcing the turnover. Holmgren, another block. And then a foul call on McElroy. Can't be lazy when Holmgren is in striking range. And with that 6'9" frame of his, you have to be mindful. You got to make sure he's taken care of before you make a move. See a few other Tartan athletes here, Aurora Roberts and TK Mason. Everyone out for this one. If you're a celebrity, as Jalen Suggs sinks the three. A who's who of celebrities in the prep world watching this one. The Suggs triple ties it up at blackjacks. That's 21 if you don't understand the reference. Suggs up to 7. 6 minutes to go in the first half. Porter. Foul away from the ball. And unfortunate, now Porter, his three came after the whistle, so make what you will of it. Howard hit with a foul, his first. Kai West to shoot 1-1 with Minnehaha in the penalty. Another miss at the line. And that's the last foul to give for the Minutemen. And speaking of who's who, John DePerry, who was once the head coach at Highland Park, now on the staff for St. Paul Central. Jalen Suggs giving that rim some work. Redhawks retake the lead. Porter, Holmgren denies him again, and that will be Minnehaha ball as Porter slid out of bounds. 5'7" against 6'9". As we noted, Porter's going to have to be a little more crafty if you want to beat Chet Holmgren. Suggs for three. Yes! Jalen Suggs has scored in the last 3 possessions for the Redhawks. He's up to 12. 3 ball. Another miss from the Minutemen, and the lengthy Chet Holmgren grabs the rebound. Tried to go outlet, lost the ball. Ford can't drain the runner. Redhawks go in transition again. Suggs. That was a heat check. Aligbe with the offensive rebound, and he'll draw the foul. Prince Aligbe. He and Trey Holloman, who's also in attendance, are buddies. The two met last year when North and Minnehaha had their annual series. That series will resume on Tuesday. You know that'll be a big one. And St. Paul Central calls timeout. And as we continue this list of celebrities in the prep scene, Minnehaha, they have the longtime member of the coaching staff, Randy Carter, who was with the Gophers. His son plays for Minnehaha, at least his younger son, his oldest, won the first state championship in boys history, Kahari Carter. And that was a team of role players. I spoke with Matt Pryor, another graduate of Minnehaha Academy who took part in this series. Back in 2011, the last time Central won, he missed a free throw that would have forced overtime, but he told me that 2013 team had a lot of guys that weren't stars, a collection of D2 or D3 athletes, but they rallied together. And Chet Holmgren being examined by the trainer, may have had blood on his jersey, so the trainer working to scrub that off, so he'll sit momentarily. A lot of media on hand for this one. Aligbe, averaging over 11 a game. He misses the front end. It was a shooting foul, so sometimes you can forget that coming out of a timeout. So we'll try again. But that allowed Chet Holmgren to get back in the game. Aligbe splits. Minnehaha, though, 5 of 6. The Minutemen 0 for 3 at the charity stripe. And that has allowed the Redhawks to get the first degree of separation after Central went up 7-2 early. Here's Devontae Davis. Off to Fountain. St. Paul Central unable to penetrate. Fountain has to settle for an elbow, Jay. A contested one with Holmgren. Holmgren, he was thinking dunk all the way. Central gets in there, and that will deny the Redhawks a fast break look. Holmgren in trouble, finds Suggs. Suggs to Holmgren. And Holmgren took too many steps. An unforced error on the part of the Redhawks. As we noted, Porter, the older brother of Ronnie, who's on the Como Park team. Not surprisingly, several members of Como Park's girls team are in attendance, and a few of the parents as well. Suggs to Aligbe. Aligbe will settle for a layup. He's up to 9, though. And the Redhawks extend their lead. We were tied. In fact, the Redhawks on an 11-0 run. And it could grow after the Aligbe swat, and it will. Caden Johnson with the layup. The Redhawks have scored 13 unanswered. And now Minnehaha's fans bringing the noise. Rallying their brethren. Central trying to get the silencer. Porter could not. Holmgren, another rejection. Holmgren racking up the blocks. Ford recovers. Fountain backs off. How do you get around Chet Holmgren? Whoa! Another block by Holmgren. I'm surprised a foul wasn't called. As Davis barreled into Suggs, officials let that one go. .2:12 left in the first half. Redhawks up by 10, using a 13-0 run to get there. St. Paul Central, their fans trying to get their players back in it, and that's not going to help the cause. Aide saw it, so did we. Devontae Davis straddled the baseline a little too close. So the crowd factor now going in Minnehaha's direction with that 13-0 run. Make it 16-0. Donovan Smith with his first triple. A 16-0 run. Reminds you of Duke and that come from behind win over Louisville. And St. Paul Central struggling to hit their shots. Holmgren with the rebound. Suggs for three. Off the heel. Alegbe with the rebound. Holmgren wanted the putback dunk, goes for the fadeaway instead. Fountain with the rebound. Porter lines up for three. Bullseye. And as far as Psyche goes, that was a bucket St. Paul Central sorely needed with just over a minute to play in the first half. A long way to go. Holmgren, guarded by McElroy. Weaves his way through and lays it in. Holmgren up to 6. Minutemen go fast break. Devontae Davis with the layup. The Redhawks tell Central right back at you. Craig McDonald with his first bucket of the game. You can't leave the opponent. Suggs controls the rebound, maintains his balance. You know, it's exciting to score a fast break, but you have to be mindful of where the other team is. And usually when you score on a fast break like Central did, not everyone in Minnehaha has time to get down. Suggs for three. Bullseye! 15 points. A buzzer beater for Jalen Suggs. And the Redhawks go on a monstrous run, 23-5 to end the first half. They hold a 15-point lead, 41-26 over St. Paul Central in the 2019 chapter of this annual rivalry. 41-26. We've got a long way to go, though. And don't count out St. Paul Central. As we've seen with some of their matches, they are no slouch. But they have the work cut out for them. We'll take a quick break and come back for the second half of this annual rivalry. You're watching high school boys basketball. Minnehaha Academy leads St. Paul Central 41-26.
If you'd like to sponsor a TSP television broadcast, Patreon is the place. Sponsorships start at just $1 a month. Visit patreon.com/TSP television and make a pledge for premier Twin Cities sports coverage.
Welcome back to St. Paul Central High School. Mike Beaton all by myself, talking to myself, but as you can see, we've got a few thousand of our closest friends alongside for an annual rivalry that has brought out all of the big names, past and present, in Minnesota high school basketball. St. Paul Central and Minnehaha Academy. Redhawks ending the first half on a 23-5 run. And as a result, they lead 41-26. Jalen Suggs with 15. Prince of League Bay with 9. And Chet Holmgren has 6. Those are your notables for Minnehaha. Rennell Porter has 11 for the Minutemen. Devontae Davis with 6. Deion Ford with 5. And we're not wasting any time. We're going to start the second half right away. Both these teams are ready to go. St. Paul Central went into a shooting funk at the end of the first half, while Minnehaha was hitting inside and out. Redhawks have only lost to Hopkins. Holmgren, another block. I haven't seen too many prep stars swat them so effortlessly. Shots away, that is. Porter, guarded by Howard. Someone in the audience said money, and Luke McElroy cashes in on the triple. So that was money. But Jalen Suggs scoring on the fast break again. Central cannot be lackadaisical coming off a score. Howard, or I should say Porter, short on the step back attempt, and the rebound to Holmgren. Holmgren lines up the 3. That doesn't drop, but Howard was there to collect the rebound. Suggs through the lane and in, and takes a tumble. Jalen up to 19. Central looking to push. Kai West can't hit the runner. Suggs again. Jalen Suggs. A quick 6-point burst, and that will force Scott Howell to burn a timeout. 47-29, Jalen Suggs up to 21. As we noted, Minnehaha, they play a boatload of tough teams, and when you have big names like Suggs, Giovanni Bickham in past years, you'll get a lot of attention and a lot of invites. We mentioned the 2 games with Hopkins, one of them coming at the TCO Holiday Classic in Augsburg. They beat a tough Eden Prairie team on the road by 1. Knocked off a pair of Wisconsin teams, La Crosse Central at the Midwest Players Classic and on Alaska at the Border Battle on back-to-back Saturdays. They beat Austin in convincing fashion, a top 10 team in 3A. Knocked off Caledonia with ease. Minneapolis North, that game will be on Tuesday. Aaron and I will be there, and I imagine a few of our closest friends will be as well. And then they'll revive the rivalry with De La Salle. Circle that one on the calendar. That will be worth the ticket. And then they'll end the season with another non-conference game against Maranatha. Central lost it. Jalen Suggs won't get the poster move. League with the rebound, and he'll draw the foul. Suggs came close. We've seen a couple of missed dunks, but this game has been controlled by Minnehaha outside of the opening minutes. Central went on that 7-2 start. A 23-5 run to end the first half, and the Redhawks continuing to climb. That's going to be a foul on West. Holmgren off the feed from Suggs, a backdoor slam. Redhawks up by 20. Holmgren again. Don't bring that weak stuff in here. Holmgren finds a league bay. He's stripped, and drawing contact is Caden Johnson, and Caden will shoot 2. St. Paul Central all out of sorts. Caden Johnson averaging 5.4 a game. Redhawks don't have big numbers outside the big three. Johnson missing the front end. But St. Paul Central in a shooting slump, and they've been stuck in this slump for the last several minutes, going back to the first half. Working their way out of it. That's going to be key. Caden Johnson splits. Redhawks 6 of 8. But right now, in full control, Porter can't get the elbow J to drop. Holmgren, another leak out. Jalen Suggs, another fast break play. 23 points for Jalen Suggs, Minnehaha Academy's all-time leading scorer. Passing Giovanni Bickham. As the Redhawks look to make another date with State. Dion Ford gets a 15-footer to fall for the Minutemen. Holmgren attacks, throws it down once more. We mentioned the loaded section, St. Paul Central and Minnehaha Academy. They will get to State without a problem. Their QRF is almost twice as high as the next highest team in 4AA. No foul called. Jalen Suggs lost his balance. 54-31 is our score. We'd like to thank those of you watching on the airwaves of SPNN and those of you watching on my YouTube page. Holmgren again. I'm sounding like a broken record, but Holmgren racking up blocks with impunity on Lake Bay. Elevation and the throwdown. The rims are getting a workout from Minnehaha Academy. We might get another one. No, but a layup will do. These two teams have played each other close. It doesn't look like this year's edition of the rivalry will end up that way. The Redhawks up by 27. And if you're watching this on YouTube and would like to sponsor a TSB television broadcast, we have two ways for you to do so. Patreon, patreon.com/TSB television, or through PayPal at paypal.me/TSB television. Well, the cheerleaders doing what they can to keep the fans in it, but it's been silent since that 7-2 start for the Minutemen. 13:28 to go, and for St. Paul Central, we've noted they played a lot of high-level teams close, even though they've come up short on a few occasions. After this, they'll have a few more conference games with Como Park tomorrow. St. Paul Central playing 3 games in 3 days. Some of their games of note, they played a pair at South Dakota, lost to Sioux Falls Lincoln, beat Lennox at the Barefoot Classic at the Pentagon. Lost a close one to Cooper, lost a close one to Park Center. They put up 100 points twice on Washington. They're not going to get that mark here. Rennell Porter doing what he can to keep his team in it. As we said, this rivalry is all about pride. No worries about rankings, seeding. A Lake Bay! Another slam dunk We've got a little lob city going on. Porter. Well, he had Holmgren on top of him, so Porter backs out. And that's a tough one for Devontae Davis. Got the rebound, but couldn't put it in. A microcosm of this game for the Minutemen. Suggs joins the party. 25 points for Jalen Suggs. Again, both teams playing games yesterday. And a rare miscue. Jalen Suggs. He is heated. He wanted to throw down another one and add to his highlight reel. I see a few folks from Cretin-Durham Hall's girls basketball team here. And Minnehaha Academy will call a timeout, and probably not a bad thing there to cool Jalen Suggs down a bit. A little more detail on the section standings. The Redhawks well on their way to winning their 11th straight. Their QRF is 215.9. St. Croix Prep is the next closest team at 116.6. But they will have no problem getting to state. And if they don't, it would be one of the biggest shockers in the section playoffs. For St. Paul Central, they are an underdog. It looks like the Suburban East, as usual, will get someone out of that section into the state tournament field. The question is who? Last year was Cretin-Durham Hall, who went on to win state. This year it could be the Raiders. We'll see them tomorrow when they host Eden Prairie. It could be the Raptors of Eastridge. It could be the Bears of White Bear Lake. At St. Paul Central, as it stands right now, they would be the 5th seed, and they would have to play a tough Tartan team on the road. What a layup! Karan Crow gets his first field goal. And if you're Central, you just need some buckets. Get a few plays to go your way. Holmgren was fouled underneath. And that's going to mean free throws, as they give him the shooting motion. Chet Holmgren with 10 points, seemingly that many blocks. Porter hit with a foul, but that's the least of St. Paul Central's concerns. At the very least, they'll have a chance to rebound. Como Park, not at the same caliber as Minnehaha is. Holmgren missing the front end. Chet Holmgren listed at 7 feet. I said 6'9". That was his freshman season. I don't know if he grew a few inches, but don't let his frame fool you. As we've seen tonight, Holmgren can rack up blocks in a hurry. Another split at the line, but the Redhawks are up comfortably here. 63-35 with 11 minutes to play. Porter finds Crow, and with Holmgren there, Suggs with an alley-oop to himself. We've seen them drop that a few times throughout his prep career. I remember covering a section final. Porter with a little shake and bake. McElroy missed the three. And we're closing in on the mercy rule threshold. Prince Aligbe and Jalen Suggs with a little gesture. A celebratory pose with Jalen Suggs posing for the rim. If you like dunks, Minnehaha Academy has provided plenty of them. A deep three. Suggs is confident. You don't shoot threes like that unless you're feeling it. Porter knocks one down from downtown. He's up to 16. A block from behind by Crow and a jump ball. Minnehaha with the arrow. Bennett Tyson on the floor now for the Redhawks. And that's going to be a foul. The fourth on Devontae Davis as he grabbed Jalen Suggs. And that is the last foul to give for the Minutemen. 27 points for Jalen Suggs. Holmgren, the skip, three on the way is long from Donovan Smith. The Minutemen have had difficulty getting around Holmgren. McElroy pump fakes the three. Swish. McElroy up to 7. I don't foresee a 23-point comeback like Duke had against Louisville last night. But if you're the Minutemen, this is what you need. Get on a run, build some momentum. Get yourself to go out on a high note. Holmgren puts back his own miss. Porter to Davis. Sloppy exchange, but Porter able to get the handle on it. And Holmgren didn't get the block, but he did alter Porter's trajectory. Jalen Suggs, another fast break layup. 29 points for Suggs. Holmgren. Nothing gets through him. That guy is near impenetrable. Suggs to Holmgren. Porter got the strip, and he'll get the tie-up. Central with the arrow. If nothing else, Porter showing everyone that he will not be intimidated by the 7-foot master of the block. And Holmgren will head to the bench. Minnehaha up by more than enough to get out of here with the win. Central sends in Nauticus Williams. 3-ball, corner pocket for Devontae Davis. And a steal. But then Central coughs it up to Jalen Suggs, and a late foul is called. And that will go against Nauticus Williams. That play got everyone talking. Jalen Suggs to shoot 2. He's a junior, and what a career he's had at the varsity level. Burst on the scene as an 8th grader with that Steph Curry-like range, and over time, he's developed a full artillery. A 30-point game for Jalen Suggs. Davis missing the 3. Nothing doing there for Suggs. St. Paul Central looking to run, and they are a little out of control. Jalen Suggs by himself. Got a little too fancy. He had an open basket. Tried the behind the back to a league bay and got nothing for it. Williams scores on the other end. a 4-point swing. But here come the Redhawks again in transition. They caught St. Paul Central asleep several times following the score. Davis lost the handle. Redhawks looking to push again. Aligbe lost it. Going back to that miscue from Suggs and Aligbe and the score by Williams. If the score were closer, that play would sting a little more as Porter drains the elbow J. It will be academic as far as the outcome of the game, but Jalen Suggs, he had a wide open basket. Just lay it in. It's cool to look fancy and showcase your skills, but Suggs will make it up with a step-back three. Well, he knows how to shut my mouth. Porter, side fade. No good. Suggs with the rebound. And here come the Showtime Redhawks. They're having a little trouble converting, though. Minnehaha ball, 5:58 left. Holmgren will go back in. Siegelhauer will do the same. And Central giving their backups a chance to play some minutes. Curtis Favors, number 15, enters the floor. Aligbe drives, no good. Second chance bucket is no good. Davis, the kick out. McElroy for three. Short. Holmgren had the rebound. Favors stripped it. Favors tries to post up on Holmgren. That's not going to happen. Not easily. Howard to Holmgren. Over to Craig McDonald. Three ball from Aligbe. Can't bank it. 5 minutes to go. And what will be the 11th straight win for Minnehaha Academy. Favors hit from behind. Redhawks nowhere near foul trouble. That was just their first team foul of the half. And we see a few folks heading for the exits early. I think the thought was this game would be a little closer than it turned out to be. Again, a shooting funk on the part of Central allowed Minnehaha to go on a 23-5 run to end the first half, and that continued in the second. So as the fans start to foul for the exits, a runaway win for the Redhawks as they assert their status as the number one team in Class 2A. And as we've seen, they can hang with the best in 3A and 4A. An official's timeout was called to clean up some perspiration or a slick spot on the floor. Now Chet Holmgren will have a chance to shoot his free throws. Well, results like this can happen as Holmgren misses the front end. You know, if you played this matchup again, maybe it's a little bit closer, but it does tell you how far the Redhawks have progressed over the years and what makes them such a tough team to face, no matter who the matchup is. Holmgren splits at the line. He'll head back to the bench. 14 points. Seemingly as many blocks. A gritty, well-fought, hard-fought performance. And now some of the bench players will enter the floor as we enter stat padding time. Porter will drive and score. That will bring them up to 20. Some of the backups for the Redhawks, we mentioned Bennett Tyson. Number 23, Trent Finney. The scary part about all this, there's no Terry Locken on this team. Imagine if he were still here. Oh boy. Howard scores for the Redhawks. That gets him off the schneid as far as the score sheet is concerned. Porter missing the drive. Howard on the other end. The Redhawks transition offense, as Howard scores once more, is something to be admired. And St. Paul Central will send in the backups. Darius Brown among them, number 10. But the story of this game, Jalen Suggs, 34 points. Had that one slip up when he had that no-look dish to a league bay, but that was the only mistake. The only mistake. Some other of St. Paul Central's reserves, Adam Pekel and Jalen Thomas, number 40. Tyson looking for Howard, and he's stripped by Thomas. Conversely, St. Paul Central missed a few fast breaks. They missed a few other plays. .252 to go. A dominant win for the Redhawks. Jalen Suggs, a big reason for it. Chet Holmgren as well. And Princeton Lake Bay will finish with 13. So Minnehaha's big three performing as advertised. St. Paul Central couldn't get much going out of their big three. Rennell Porter, he'll finish with 20, but Davis and Ford struggled. Davis and Ford, 9 and 7 respectively. Terrell Fountain will have a chance for a three-point play as the crowd slowly files out. Fountain can't complete the three-point play. Well, this is a game that brought out the big names. One of those matchups that can do so. Thomas, spin move through traffic, and he'll shoot two. We're not at the mercy rule threshold. It would have to be 35 or more, so we're still playing with stoppage time here. And Jalen Thomas gets on the board. St. Paul Central will win the conference. They can at least take that with them. How far they'll get in their section, we don't know. Again, they're in a loaded group. And they're going to have to play with a little more poise than they did tonight. Minnehaha Academy, a big test comes on Tuesday with Minneapolis North. A lot of folks thought it was going to be those two schools a year ago. Brooklyn Center spoiled the party. But after several of Brooklyn Center's top players left to join a new prep school, Minneapolis North once again, the cream of the crop. Last year's meeting between the Polars and the Redhawks sold out at the Lansing Sports Center at Mounds Park Academy. I imagine this year's game, which will be at Minneapolis North, will be no different. Fountain with the steal, spin move, he'll lay it in. That brings him up to 6. And that will be a foul, and free throws coming for the Redhawks. Number 14. Number 14 missing the front end. I'll see if I can get his name here. He's not listed. Well, he will because he scored the back end. Redhawks 12 of 16 from the free throw line. That three is pure for Darius Brown. And those who stuck around are applauding Darius Brown for getting on the score sheet. An all-out domination by Minnehaha Academy. It's taking a little while to end as Trent Finney will try to get on the board. Fans came out in droves. And those who stuck around got quite the performance out of Jalen Suggs. A few slams by Aligbe, Holmgren, showing his one-handed and two-handed dunk ability. Trent Finney makes both free throws. And for the role players, the folks that come in stat padding time like this is the moment, this is the opportunity they relish. A chance to get on the score sheet. Siegel Howard scores again in transition. Minnehaha playing that last minute as if it were the first. And they're not done. They want more. They won't get more, at least not yet. Well, they won't now. Can Kai West do something with it? Well, he will on a delayed play to Fountain. So Fountain will score 8 off the bench, and that should do it. Minnehaha will run out the clock and pick up their 11th straight win. 86-60 is the final. 34 points from Jalen Suggs for the game high. Chet Holmgren with 14. Prince Aligbe with 13. Rennell Porter leads the Minutemen with 20. The only player to reach double figures for the Minutemen, but too much Minnehaha, too much Holmgren, too much Suggs. 86-60. If that doesn't tell you how this game went, I don't know what will, but that big 23-5 run to end the first half, that told the story in this matchup. So the Redhawks go to 17-2. The Minutemen fall to 14-6. 86-60 is your final.